first thing you want to do in this assembly of the Serpentine belt is remove the air intake line. Turn this tab here and that releases this. Same thing on this side. There's two tabs here and one tab on the bottom. You want to remove the first two first, and the way you do this is you hold on to this and you push it down, and that disengages these two. Once they're off, you can easily lift the bottom one. This side is a little bit more complicated. I struggled with it initially. You might have to spend a bit of time in terms of loosening the plastic on it, but the only thing that's holding it in place is this tab and this tab on the bottom. So just work at it before you start this install. It is advisable that you remove this end as well, not just here, because you want full access of this area right here. You want to loosen this hose clamp first. You have factory hose clamps or not. In my case, these are factory. You will need a 7mm socket to loosen this hose clamp. So just take that off. Loosen it up all the way. You might have to pry on this hose a little if it's cold. Okay. I usually tighten this back up so it doesn't go anywhere. You'll also notice that I removed the cam magnet cover. Essentially it goes in like this. All you need to do is just pull it off its grommet. This grommet goes into this hole. Pull one side, lift it up and pull the other. It's a great time to inspect your cam adjusters now, because these are a known issue with this engine. What you just need to do, you can also see I have pigtails on it. This tries to mitigate the leakage so it doesn't shuttle engine oil throughout the engine harness. So what you want to do is just depress the tab and just inspect your connector. Feel inside the male connector and see if there's oil. If there is, wipe it off. You might want to change the adjuster as well if it's leaking heavily. But anyways, back to where we were. Remove the intake resonator or the silencer. That's just right here, right in front of the belt tensioner, which is over here. This is almost a must. You have to remove this. It's fairly easy, and I'll show you how to do that. That's your radiator hose. That's the line we just disconnected. That's the intake silencer. So when you look here, you see two hose clamps. The hose clamp you want to remove is this one, not this one. That would be pretty pointless. So just remove that first. Loosen up that hose clamp. Now you don't want to pull it out yet, because this resonator is actually bolted onto the engine just on this side. So you just loosen this up for now. Remove this clip that's holding this rubber pipe to the resonator. You just stick your pick on this end, lift it up. Once it's disengaged, pipe comes straight out. Like so. Alright, so now you see this resonator box? It's actually held onto the engine by two brackets. You see this Y-shaped rubber plastic thing that's protrudes out. So this is the top piece and that's the bottom piece over there. There's an E10 Torx bolt on each one that you need to remove. So what I have here is an E10 socket. And that E10 socket is a 3/8 drive. I have a 3/8. I have a 1/4 inch to a 3/8 adapter right here, and a 1/4 inch extension with a 1/4 inch ratchet. And the reason why you want a 1/4 inch ratchet is because there's actually not a lot of room to work down here. As you can see, the bolt is just where the head of that E10 socket is, and as you can see, there's a piece over here that's blocking the way, and you can't really get a 3/8 ratchet next to this piece over here. So that's why you want these extensions. Make sure you get yourself these before you start. It will make your life a lot easier. So essentially you just turn it and loosen it up. The next one on the bottom is a little bit more finicky. Instead of using a ratchet, actually instead of using a 1/4 inch ratchet, you can use a 3/8 ratchet. Actually also a 1/4 inch ratchet. You can just see my ratchets on the bolt already. So I have that 1/4 inch ratchet with the 1/4 inch to 3/8 adapter, no extension. So the 1/4 inch to 3/8 adapter on the 3/8 dry E10 socket, and that just gives you the perfect amount of room to loosen that last bolt that's holding this last fork in place. So the fork's like this. So this is the perfect size ratchet. Get the bolt out. As you can see, not on there too tight. Just loosen it up. You don't have to turn it all the way. Once it's loose, you can actually finger remove the whole bolt. This is the ratchet I was using. 1/4 inch ratchet, 1/4 inch to 3/8 adapter with that E10 socket, and that's the perfect amount of space you'll need. This pipe, it might be easier to remove this first. And the second thing is that you actually won't be able to see the bolt. You're just doing this by feel the whole time. Now that the bolts are removed, and that side hose clamp is also removed, you can just pull it and the resonator will come straight out. Where it gets a little finicky, there's not a lot of room to pull this intake resonator out of its place, and the reason is that Y bracket I was mentioning is actually in the way of a lot of things. So it's actually a lot easier right now to just go at the tensioner and release the belt. And the reason why you do that is because if you look down there, sorry, you can see it, the belt runs along the alternator and makes a V. So the belt is actually right here, right? And this thing is in the way of removing it. So it's a lot easier if you just leave this in place for now and just go for the tensioner and take off the belt first. Bit on the tensioner is right here. The start button and the tensioner is right under this belt. If you stick your finger in there, you'll be able to feel where that start bit, the T60, fits inside. So you just want to get your socket in there and pull towards the left like you were loosening a nut or a bolt, and that releases the tension off the tensioner, and you just slip the belt off. I would say if you want, off the power steering first, because that's the most accessible. You'll need a T60 Torx. It's a big one. You usually won't be able to find these in a socket set, so you might have to pick up a T60 Torx before you start this. I have a 1/2 inch breaker bar. Tensioner is off. Take it off the power steering. Let go of the tensioner. As simple as that. A good thing to have before you start this is have a diagram of the serpentine belt. The last thing you want to do is, remove the serpentine belt and have no idea how to put it back on. It's in your owner's manual. Look at that if you need to. Just for me, I downloaded a large picture of it, and it's just easier to visualize and have it next to me while I work on the engine. Slip the belt off each of its pulley. Now that the belt's off, it's also a great time to inspect all your pulleys, make sure it's not grinding or anything. Inspect your serpentine belt if you're not replacing it. Get it off its crankshaft. And the last one is the AC compressor on the bottom. I just dropped my hose clamp. It's a lot easier to pull out without the belt on now. And if all you want to do is replace the serpentine belt, you don't actually need to remove the resonator. You can just keep it in place, but for what I'm trying to do, I actually want to start the engine without the accessory belt. I do want to remove this because if this falls into where the crankshaft pulley is, you can destroy the resonator and do a lot of other stuff. So in my case, because I want to remove it, you'll see that there's a rubber piece here. This is where that bolt went in to secure this resonator onto the engine. It's just right here, it's just blocking this resonator's exit. So take a flathead screwdriver and just pry this straight up. You'll see that this bracket is an open-ended bracket. You just stick a screwdriver in there and just push it up, and that should pull out that grommet over there. Oop, yeah, that's it. So once that comes out, turn the fan a little so that it's on the side where there's no blade. And once it clears, just pull the whole thing out. Very straightforward, and the installation is essentially the reverse. That's your idler pulley. Clearly mine has an issue because it has a grinding noise. That's the tensioner pulley. You see the T60 star hole also grinding. I think this is a little warped. Power steering is warped, so today I'm actually replacing my power steering. I turned it and it's clearly warped. I believe my alternator pulley is warped too, so I'll be showing a video on how to do that without removing the alternator. You just go through here, pull out the pulley, and water pump's loose. Reinstall the resonator, intake resonator, leaving the grommet out first. Make sure you put this on only after you've positioned the resonator, or else you won't get it past the pulleys. Okay, once you put the resonator back in, do not install it yet, just let it sit inside first. Reinstall the belt. If you put the belt in, then you won't be able to put the resonator back in. It's easier if you run it through the AC compressor first because it's the furthest down. Okay. Following the belt towards the supercharger. Down on the idler pulley towards the power steering. This bottom portion goes up around the crankshaft. Across to the tensioner pulley. Tensioner pulley up on top of the water pump and down towards the alternator. I recommend you to not loop it over the power steering, mainly because it's so high that it's your most ideal pulley to put on last. When you release the tension, you'll get enough slack that you can wrap over this pulley. Every other pulley is kind of inaccessible, so that should be your last one. Make sure all the ribs so far on these pulleys are sitting straight, especially on the ones that are not smooth, like the AC compressor. Make sure the ribs are completely seated on the compressor. Everything looks good. Alright. Once everything's routed the way you want it to, make sure everything's aligned straight on the thing, on the pulleys, on the tensioner pulley, make sure it's aligned as well. Or roughly aligned, doesn't have to be perfect. Take your half-inch breaker bar with your T60 wrench. Release tension. Make sure everything's aligned on the water pump, especially on the ones without ribs. You can become misaligned, like the water pump, the idler pulley, and the tensioner. They can all not seat properly, so make sure the belt is perfectly straight and aligned. sure you secure the clip